York's classic rock, Q1043.
I say good morning to a good friend, Frank Siller, who is the chairman and CEO of the wonderful Tunnel to Towers Foundation. And we are just a little more than a week away from Veterans Day. And for the first time this year, you have a special Veterans Day event. And I wanted to spread the word about this because it is just awesome. And after you announced it initially during the summer, I thought, well, what took so long for this to happen? So welcome, Frank.
Well, thank you, Shelley, for having me on this Sunday morning. And yes, we're getting prepared for Veterans Day. And we're so proud to be the foundation that is going to take on a responsibility, which I think is the first time. I know it's the first time ever at Lincoln Memorial that we're going to read the names of all 7,072 men and women who gave their life for our country on the global war on terrorism. And it's about time. You just said, it's about time that's being done. And but we are doing it, and we're proud to be taking on that responsibility. We'll have hundreds and hundreds of Gold Star families. We'll have different military, high-ranking and boots on the ground personnel that served over there in Afghanistan and Iraq and other places to protect us here on our homeland. So it's going to be very emotional, and but it's very necessary that we never forget the sacrifice that's been made for the last 20 years.
That is going to take a very long time to read the name. Is this ceremony going to go on?
Well, we know it's going to take about 9 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, to read the 2,977 names every year at Ground Zero, it starts around 8 o'clock and ends around noon. So that's, not even half of what we have to read. So, we're going to take about, we figure about 9 hours. We have a couple of beautiful vocalists that will be singing some beautiful, meaningful words to make sure that we do this in such a respectful and meaningful way. And we're just so much looking forward to it. And so all these Gold Star families are calling us and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's something that is so necessary. There should be a memorial down there, right? In that area where the World War II memorial is, where the Korean memorial is. Well, there should be a memorial for the global war on terrorism, because it's been it was the longest conflict we've ever been in, 20 years. And those who fought for us should not be forgotten, and those who survived it should not be forgotten. Thank you for protecting our country here. But most certainly for those who gave their lives, we better honor them in the proper way. And I'm positive. I know Senator Joni Ernst is leading the charge to make sure that we get a beautiful global war on terrorism memorial there. So we're glad that we're going to help push that forward also.
Is this going to be televised anywhere?
Well, we'll be live streaming it at tunneltotowers.org. And yes, so we're going to have local television stations. We'll have national television stations there. I'm sure they're not going to televise the whole 9 hours. They'll cut back and forth, but we're taping it, and we'll have it, and we'll make sure it's in our archives, and we'll have it on our website for people who want to watch it.
It's really interesting this year, the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. Your organization has been out there so much throughout the country that Tunnel to Towers has now become, because there are a lot of organizations, but now it's become the go-to organization if somebody wants to do something to help first responders. I'm sure you didn't envision 20 years ago that this would be so huge and life-changing.
No, my family and I, we just wanted to honor my youngest brother, firefighter Stephen Gerard Siller, who gave his life up on 9/11. We didn't know we were going to be doing all this work, but it was such a need out there. It's never been done before. So there has never been a foundation in America that took on the responsibility of paying off the mortgages for all first responders who die in the line of duty that leave young kids behind. So we took on that responsibility. We took on the responsibility also to take care of Gold Star families, because we are talking about Veterans Day. Yeah, so we're going to take care of every Gold Star family whose loved one gave their life for our country that leaves a young family behind. Now, we built some of those houses, or if they have a home, we pay off their mortgage. So no, never in our wildest dreams did we know we're going to do that, but we saw a great need. We had I'm almost the audacity, I'll use that word, to try to do it. But we know it's so pure and so necessary that we had to accomplish the work that we're doing, because these families pay such a price for us, Shelley. They pay such a price for us, because when somebody serves, the whole family serves. And when they don't come home, as Americans, we better take care of these families that are left behind. And our Tunnel to Towers Foundation is just the conduit. We bring people together to, to make sure that America does the right thing to take care of these beautiful families that paid such a price for our freedom and our security. So no, we never expected to do all this work, but it's necessary, and it'll never end. That's the sad part. It will never end. So the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has to live on forever, because there'll always be somebody dying for us, for our freedoms, and there'll always be families that are left behind.
Tell us about the Gold Star program. How many families have you actually helped so far? There are so many out there. I mean, there are 7,000 families just from the war on terror.
Yeah. So yeah, there are so many families, and we're clawing back on helping a lot of these families that we weren't able to help years ago, because we didn't have the resources to 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. We didn't have the resources to help all the amount of families that need our help. So this year alone, Shelley, we're delivering 200 mortgage-free homes. Many of them are Gold Star families. So if you're right, 7,072 to be exact, men and women that gave their lives for our country. Not all of them had young families. A lot of them are young. Look at the 13 that just died in Afghanistan, the last 13 that died. One of them fits our criteria, McCullum, Lance Corporal Riley McCullum, whose wife was pregnant, and she gave birth a couple of weeks after he gave his life for our country. Now, I spoke to his wife, Gigi McCullum, and I said, Gigi, we're going to build you a mortgage-free home. So it's only one of 13 that were eligible there, because the others were so young. They were 20 years old, 21 years old.
Babies.
They were babies, and they're giving their lives for our country. So, but there are thousands that did die that would fit our qualifications or criteria, of having young families left behind. So we're clawing back and we're helping them. And we hope to do a minimum of 200 homes a year. That is our goal, until we get somebody who steps up and gives us, $100 million or something like that. We're such a grassroots foundation, Shelley. You know that. You do fundraising for us. You do the stair climb up the Freedom Tower for us, and you have your own team that raises money, and you raise a lot of money, for us every single year. So we have so many people that do that, but we count on people doing $11 a month.
Right.
And your listeners should know, you go to T2T.org, and $11 a month, we could take care of all these families. And I don't think that's a big ask to ask, Americans that don't serve to take care of those who do serve. And you could do that by donating $11 a month, because look, 95.2% of every dollar that we took in last year goes to our programs, 95.2%. I don't get paid. We have thousands of volunteers like yourself that come on board and help us meet our mission to take care of these families. So we do count on the $11 a month, because there's not many people that can give us millions of dollars to take care of these families. There are some, but we really count on the masses of people to get the work done.
I'm speaking with Frank Siller. He's the chairman and CEO of Tunnel to Towers. That $11 a month, and I have pledged, of course, along with so many others. Is that money for all of your programs, or just some specific programs?
Money goes to all our programs. Our programs are, we build specially adapted smart homes for our country's most catastrophically injured service members. You've seen these houses that we build.
Incredible.
They're incredible. They give them back their independence. These are double, triple, quadruple amputees, paraplegics, quadriplegics, traumatic brain injury. We build apparatuses in the house to get them out of their bed. How is their caretaker going to get some of these great heroes out of their bed that can't even move, that are completely paralyzed? We build these apparatuses in their homes to do it. So, and we make each home fit their particular injuries that they have. So we do hundreds of them. We take care of the Gold Star families that we just talked about. We either build them a mortgage-free home if they don't have a home, and many of them do not, because they go from base to base. They're not established in a particular area. Or if they do have a home, we'll pay off their mortgage so they could stay in the same community that they're creating their own life. And then, of course, for fallen first responders, which we took on in 2014 when detectives Lou and Ramos were assassinated just because they were police officers. We realized then that they were worried about how they're going to pay their mortgages, and they expressed that. And we heard about, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, we heard that they were worried. On Christmas Eve that year, we went, Rudy Giuliani and myself, we went to their home and we told them, I said, Tunnel to Towers, we're going to pay off your mortgage. And we not only raised enough money to do that, we actually renovated their homes as well. So we're very proud of the work we're doing. So they're the programs. And the last program is our Never Forget program, because it's important that we never forget the sacrifice that's made 20 years ago on 9/11, like the day I lost my brother, and we lost so many great heroes that day, but also the sacrifice that's been made ever since. And so a lot of our foundation that's our first mission from the very beginning, is make sure we never forget and we honor the sacrifice. And we honor the sacrifice by doing good, Shelley, right? By doing
That's
good.
right.
And what could be better than taking care of these families and giving them a mortgage-free home? They earned it. They deserve it. It's really not charity to them. People donate the money to our charity, but these families, it's the least that we should do as Americans, to take care of these families. So that's where the money goes when they donate that $11 a month. And I think that's anyone that sees us deliver a house. And we just delivered a tremendous amount a couple of weeks ago on September 11th, but we're going to try to do a lot of houses on this Veterans Day. So your audience should stand by, because we're gathering all the Gold Star, and these are all Gold Star families on Veterans Day. And we're hoping to make a great announcement in the next few days, Shelley.
Oh, fantastic. So the Tunnel to Towers climb up the stairs of the World Trade Center, it is on for 2022?
It's on in the end of May in 2022, the weekend, the Sunday after Memorial Day. So it could be the first Sunday in June. So yes, it is on. I mean, barring, they change
Right.
things for us, I take life one day at a time. So, but no, yes, it is on. And look, we have over 100 events throughout the United States. So if somebody wants to get involved, and go to t2t.org, not only donate your $11 a month, so do that first. And then afterwards, look at all the events that we have in your communities all over the United States. We do golf outings. I think there's 30 or 40 golf outings people do for us, 75 runs in different cities or climbs in different cities. And a lot of people put on different type of fundraisers for us all the time. So you want to be part of us, and that, donate $11 a month. But if you want to go to a function, there's many opportunities out there.
Just tell me briefly, because we have less than a minute left, the highlight for you of walking the 500 miles from the Pentagon to the World Trade Center. Your walk ended on September 11th. Well,
there were many highlights, one of which was the day you walked with me.
Oh, thank you.
It was beautiful. It was so peaceful. I don't have to tell you, even the little small miracle happened that day when we were talking. It's incredible. But I'm going to tell you the three most meaningful moments to me was when I laid the wreath at the Pentagon on August 1st, when I first started. When I went to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, August 21st, when I reached the midway point, so-called midway point, when I laid the wreath there, and I was with a bunch of New York City firefighters, and we all knelt down and said the Lord's Prayer right at the impact zone, the beautiful boulder that's there that represents the lives of the 40 great heroes that won the first battle in the war on terrorism. They took that plane down to save lives on the ground. You know, Todd Beamer, let's roll. We'll never forget that. And then, of course, on September 11th, when I was walking through the same tunnel that my brother was running through 20 years ago, he ran through with his fire gear on his back, and I just walked through my family, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, and others, and it was very emotional for me. When I came out the other side, I saw the Freedom Tower, but what my brother saw was two towers on fire, and people, faced with a decision on they're going to give their lives up by burning or jumping. It was so sad. He saw hell on earth. I saw the resilience of America when I saw the Freedom Tower. But the thoughts that were going through my mind that day was incredible. It was very emotional for me. And then saying a prayer with all the firefighters and my friends and special forces right there at a 10 truck right by adjacent to Ground Zero was the three moments that I'll never forget the rest of my life.
Thank you so much, Frank Siller. And all of you, if you haven't done so already, $11 a month. That's all. You'll do so much good. $11 a month, T2T.org. And when we come back, switching gears totally, we're going to talk to an author who just wrote a book about the legendary B.B. King. Next, Q104.3.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.